Despite being an undeniable truth throughout the most part of the last century, Albania, not Kosovo, and I will come to Kosovo and Serbia, Albania is no longer the only place in the Balkans surrounded with ethnic population across all of its borders that are scattered in different countries. Also, Serbia is now enjoying the same exact fate. With the breakup of Yugoslavia, Serbia lost the power of being the dominating republic within the former federation, but also now it is a fact that not all Serbs live within the borders of a single state. This novel reality was for sure created through the rather traditional method for state creation used throughout the history. In other words, it emerged as a result of wars, of conflicts. Serbia, intending to achieve its aim for Great Serbia or Bigger Serbia, has started and lost 4 wars, the ones in Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, and Kosovo. Without a war, it also lost parts of Serb inhabited territories as a result of Montenegrin and Macedonian independence. Therefore, Serbia was defeated in all of the wars. In this context, today Serbia's borders are a result of Serbia's collapse in wars of the 90s, as well as decisions deriving from conferences, organizations, and world's powerful countries. For Serbia, this is an unchangeable reality into the new millennium, which was and remains as such for Albania. Now, with the lessons learned from the bloody centuries spent in the Balkans, it seems that both Albanians and Serbs have gained awareness. From the two apparently most divided populations in the Balkans, today we are witnessing the political elite stating that conflicts should not be repeated and that everything needs to be achieved through dialogue. This is good news for all peninsula's inhabitants, as it gives hope for putting life on a normal footing and improving the welfare of all people living there. And the major compromise for this lengthy Albanian-Serbian division is precisely the compromise, the state of Kosovo. Despite not being recognized as such by Belgrade, Kosovo today is an independent state. Kosovo has been recognized by almost 100 states, most of which represent the largest world democracies. Kosovo has a territory guaranteed by NATO and European Union. Kosovo is acknowledged as a special unity also by the UN through Resolution 1244, as well as framed under the 3 principles of the contact group, part of which is also the Russian Federation. These facts should be enough that both Albanians and Serbs accept Kosovo as an independent and integrated, resulting as an agreed compromise among all global political forces of the new millennium, because Kosovo, as it is, excludes ideas for the creation of ethnic Albania or Great Albania, respectively ethnic Serbia or the Great Serbia. However, also with the compromised Kosovo, again, Albanian-Serbian segments break for those portions of Albanians and Serbs that are trapped, living outside borders of states that they consider to ethnically belong to them. Serbs that live in the north and want to be a part of Serbia, and Albanians that live in the Preševo Valley and want to join Kosovo. Certainly, a change of these borders with the will of only one side and refusal of the other would inevitably lead towards a new conflict. Simply, if Serbs from the north and the Belgrade would want to forcibly divide Kosovo, it would not be possible because the territory of Kosovo is guaranteed by NATO, and this would automatically place Serbia in conflict with the North Atlantic Treaty and with Albanians. On the other side, we have seen that Liberation Army of Preševo, Medveđa, and Bujanovac UCPMB, fought in Prešov Valley during the beginning of the last decade but failed to join Kosovo. No doubt that this should be the lesson understood as clearly as possible by the current Serb Prime Minister Ivica Dačić, who is the only institutional leader from Albanians and Serbs that sees separation of Kosovo as a solution to the problem, even though that he is stating all the time that he is saying this in his private capacity and not as the Prime Minister. Separation of Kosovo, only with the will of Serbia, leads toward conflict. Therefore, it is true for both. It should be recognized that not all Serbs, as well as not all Albanians, can live within borders of their mono-ethnical states. This seems to have been more seriously understood so far by the main Albanian politicians, but apparently not entirely by the Serbian ones. Let us recall that back in 1992, also Albanians from Prešov Valley had held a referendum for political and territorial autonomy within the right to join Kosovo. That's how they called it, in which most have voted pro. However, the message from Pristina and Tirana has been there will be no change of borders. Also, as we all know, in the beginning of the last year, the majority of Serbs from the Kosovo North voted against in their referendum related to recognition of Pristina authorities there. But although not officially supported by the Serb government of that time, the message from Belgrade wasn't that there will be no separation, which is every now and then openly requested by Dačić. How should this matter be treated? I believe that if both Pristina and Belgrade realize that Kosovo and its independence do not represent only the will of Albanians and Serbs, but that there has been a war, that there were winners and losers of that war, and that there was an international community that took part in that war, it established peace and showed where the borders are, it would then be much, much easier. The formula for unsatisfied Albanians and Serbs would be the European solution for the rights of minority communities in countries where they are placed. If both Kosovo and Serbia are sincere that they want to be part of the European Union and practice European values, they cannot oppose the rights of that minority communities as in their countries, so that citizens from these communities feel and enjoy equal rights as majority population and not as second-hand citizens. In this spirit and based on human rights, the statuses of Serb population in the north of Kosovo and Albanian population in Prešov Valley could be advanced. How could this be achieved? Yes, in a European Kosovo, there should be European respect for the rights of Serb minority communities, likewise as there should be European respect for the rights of Albanian minority community in European Serbia. Reciprocity, that is. On the contrary, it would be inconceivable in that how Serbs in a Kosovo that fulfills EU standards for minority communities would enjoy more rights than the Albanians in a Serbia that fulfills the same EU standards for minority communities. EU standards should weigh equally and the same for all, and not be double standards. To that end, it would be much easier for Pristina and Belgrade to agree among themselves on everything that has to do with Albanians and Serbs in the north and on the valley. And if one day they would jointly agree, and I repeat, jointly agree, to even go that far as to exchange territories based on reciprocity, I don't see any problem that would make the international community not to accept that. Up till then, however, and up to that possibility, if that is a possibility and if that is a solution, I don't know, today's reality should be accepted. It clearly speaks about human rights within current existing borders and impossibility for creation of monoethnical states.